My mother always talked about how one day my sister was in a high chair and I was maybe 5. My sister was 3.5 years younger. And my mother said, "Now I'm just going to run out for 1 minute and hang these clothes on the clothesline. And I want you to watch your sister." Well, she came in and my sister was hanging by a strap and turning blue. And I was reading and she said, "I thought I told you to watch your sister." And I said, "Well, I was reading and it was a very good book." And that made perfect sense to me. When I was little, all I did was read and write and draw. That was kind of it for me. When I was really little, I used to write all the time. I remember following my aunt around. We used to always go down to Virginia to visit her, and she'd always take me to pick out a notepad. Then I would write these really boring stories about families that had 15 children and their names were. I would follow her around and make her listen to it all. I always said I was going to be a writer. I was very much a late bloomer, and I struggled with school when I was young. My 7th grade English teacher, who I adored, assigned us to write a story, so I worked so hard on that story to prove there was something I could do well. I handed it in, and I waited for the day when they were handed back. They passed them down the row, and when I got mine, it said, "F, you didn't write this." I was so crushed. I went up to my teacher afterwards and said, "Why would you say I didn't write this? I worked on it all weekend." She said, "You aren't smart enough," which was just horrible and crushing. It really stopped me from writing for years. I didn't do it after that for a very long time. It really was in college before I started writing again. During my junior year of college, I studied abroad in Vienna, Austria. That was a totally life-changing year for me. I learned that the world is a very big place and how different it is in different places. Everything was a new experience. Probably the best thing was being exposed to art. I was always interested in writing, but I had never been exposed to art. That was a major deal in my life, even though I didn't start painting until I was 60. After Vienna, I was always into museums and that kind of thing. It was just a whole world I didn't know about before studying abroad. I started seriously writing when I had my daughter Sarah and stayed at home with her. That was when I was 26, but I wasn't published until I was 40. My husband always supported my writing career. He never said to me, "I wish you would make money." He supported my writing dream. He would surprise me with purchases of the artwork from the books, which I still have today. We really influenced each other because he was very much an outdoors person. He loved nature and all of that, and I really was an indoors person. And we kind of gave that to each other. He got into books, and I started appreciating the outdoors a lot more. Writing was really the consuming thing in my life. With my husband being a rare book dealer, we basically had a very literary life, which was really exciting. We went to England a lot and had a lot of friends in the book world and still do. That's really been my life. My advice to someone would be to stick to the things you love, because it took me a long time to get published and not think I was just wasting my time. Now I'm into painting. My husband and I bought a house in Maine about 25 years ago. My husband would sit in that one spot in our main house and read, and I would think, well, this is my chance, because he always sits in that position and in that place. It was the only time I could get a model. Today it's very quiet up there without him, but I don't mind being up there alone and painting. I didn't realize this, but I was speaking somewhere once and talking about my books, and somebody said, "Is everything you write about art?" I thought, is it? And thinking back, everything I had written is about art, one way or another. Writing art, painting art, that's my major interest in life. I went to France with my sister last year with a program dedicated to art and painting. I'll be going to Spain this spring to join a similar class where you hike and paint. If I do any writing today, and I am doing a little bit now, I just do it for the fun of it. I don't expect anything will come of it. Writing's been huge in my life, but, it's interesting. It's not as exciting as you think it's going to be. When I look back on my life and think what things really matter to me, it would be my family, my friends, traveling, knowing about art, things like that. It wasn't all just the books.